Hi there guys, and welcome back to a Forza Horizon car pack review. My name is Ross. Your name is probably the audience, you know, whoever's watching. Dave maybe. Hi Dave. Let's get back with the car pack itself. Well, first we've got the H1 Hummer Open Top Alpha. It's powered by a 6.6 litre diesel engine, V8 diesel, with a turbo. I have to admit, driving it, you don't really feel like there's a lot of torque there. It kind of stutters and jumps around. I don't know whether it's like that in real life driving one, but I'm not too sure really. The H1 was based off the Humvee that they used for the Gulf Wars, and you know, Humvees are relatively rugged, so they kind of built it to be relatively rugged. I like the steering wheel you get. It's got like a leather steering wheel, and then everything's like really bulky and chunky, so nothing's really going to break and fall off in your hand, which is nice. Especially if you've got celebrities like Arnold Schwarzenegger driving them. You know, he may be a bit weedy now, but he could probably still give you a good old kick to the chest, and you'd definitely feel it. You know, he will be back in. Yeah, I watched The Expendables 2. That was really cheesy. Back to the Hummer itself. Unfortunately, GM are not making the Hummer anymore. They axed the division in 2006. Which is a shame, because the Hummers have always been one of the fan favourites of cars for people who like to show off a bit, really. The H2 Hummer was one of those like really like big SUVs that you could customise to no end, and the H1 was for real enthusiasts who like to, well, go everywhere with poor gas mileage, I guess. Yeah, that's the main reason you'd own a H1. Although they're very solid as a rock. I just rolled it there and there's barely a dent in the rear quarter panel there, so yeah, it's pretty good. Completely open to the elements though, so if it did ever rain in Forza Horizon, you would definitely be soaked, which is a shame, you know. It'll get everything wet and horrible, and you'd have to dry it out, and you know, I'm sure things wouldn't work afterwards being an American-made car. But, you know, we can't blame that for us because we're British. It rains all the time here, so we have to have good electricals for a short period of time, and then it deteriorates and, well, scrap it, basically. But, yeah, the car's pretty good. It'd probably be better if you tuned it up a bit. 300 horsepower is a bit weedy in this car. You can get up to about 1,000 and I think it's 1,200 newton-meters of torque if you fully tune it. Which definitely pulls you along a bit quicker, and it still weighs good over 5,000 pounds, so yeah, the weight reduction doesn't do much. But other than that, guys, it's a pretty good car. I would recommend picking it up just for hilarity reasons, or the fact if you want to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger, then Arnold Schwarzenegger, if you want to be like him, buy one, I guess. Not really much other reason why you would want one. So let's move on to our next car, shall we? Another Ford SVT Raptor. Why? I have no clue. You better ask IGN that. Right, here's our next car, guys. It's the 2011 Ford F-150 SVT Raptor Halo Edition. Now, the mind boggles at the minute because, oh, it's also powered by a 6.2 litre Ford V8 with 411 horsepower, all that bleh. I've reviewed this before, I believe, so not really much to say about it. The outside is painted in a UNSC Halo paint job that any member of the community could have done. In fact, I think they did. And they just threw it in here anyway. But that means there's a total of 3 Raptors in the game. This Halo Edition one for who people bought the LCE edition of the game, one the standard one, and I think there's another one if you've done something, I don't know, I got a gold one gifted to me. Probably a pre-order thing. Anyway, I mean, I like the Raptor, but I don't like it that much. I don't need 4 trucks of the same thing. None of them are different. They're all exactly the same. All pickup trucks, all different rubbish. I don't see the point in having this car in the game. It's just a bit off. The engine sounds amazing as always. Not much I can say about it, really. I mean, it handles like a pickup truck. Very wallowy, very soft, but at least it has a big V8 engine in to keep you amused. It definitely is a lot more powerful. It feels a lot more powerful than the H1 Hummer. I don't see why it was included though, because, well, it's another pickup truck that we've already had before. I mean, it's pretty good off-road. I mean, you know, you can jump it. I mean, it feels like a Baja truck. In fact, it was in the Baja 1000, but, you know, now I'm just off on a tangent now. The point is, we don't need 4 of the same truck in the same game. Come on, Forza. Surely you didn't think, oh yeah, what truck have we got so much in the game? Couldn't we just add like another different car? No, no, no. We've got to add another pickup truck. What's different about it? Paint job. Well done. Come on. Honestly, did we need another pickup truck? Did we need another Raptor in this game? No, we have 4 of them. I just don't see the point. You could have just gifted it as a paint job, like you could apply it to a Raptor. That I would have been fine with, you know. I would have reviewed a paint, you know, very good, very nice detail to it. But because it's its own car, I have to review it very terribly because, well, it's a pickup truck. We've got 4 of them. And I know I've said that loads of times, but there is really no need. Sorry, Forza, but that's down marks on that. I mean, if you're going to put it in a pack, just put it on its own. Like, if someone wants to buy another Raptor for whatever reason, put it on its own, not in a pack. Now it just seems pointless. Now I've got 4 of them. And I've only got 1 that I use, and, well, I don't use that very often. Kind of feel like Jay Leno's garage at this point. Right, next car, guys. Right, here's our next car, guys. The 1971 AMC Javelin AMX, powered by a 6.6 litre, 332 horsepower, 583 foot-pounds of torque V8 engine, 401 cubic inches, something like that. It weighs about 1,800 pounds, so it's relatively light for a muscle car. And it sounds amazing. The V8 in this car just sounds gorgeous. It really does. The look of the car has definitely changed from the first generation of Javelin, more softer, more rounded, but it just makes it look more presentable and it stands out a bit more. Because you're like, oh, what's that? Let's go have a look at it. The interior is relatively simple. 70s interiors were always relatively, you know, easy to maintain, all that good stuff. And yeah, this is, well, the car driving itself, pretty much. It has a 4-speed manual gearbox. It may have had an auto in the one that they tested, I'm not too sure, but it definitely revs quite high. And for a 1970s car, it revs extremely high. I mean, apparently they bench tested this engine up to 8,000 RPM, so, you know, congrats to AMC and for doing that. Unfortunately, because the way the car works in this game, you can't really look. The camera works, sorry. You can't look around the front while we're driving. But when parked up, the front end does look quite low and quite stance. It's very nice. I like the look of this car, and it kind of reminds me of that era of like Duke Boy cars. That's kind of where I went for in this sort of like road test. I thought, well, you know, it wasn't so far away from the 69 Chargers, so I wonder if it handles well on dirt, you know. Just kind of my lateral thinking there. Handles quite nice on the road. It's a lovely relaxing cruiser, so you'd expect that on tarmac anyway, it's smooth as silk. But on the dirt, it's where it gets really fun, because you can just throw it around. It's a lot of fun to drive on dirt. I found that out. It's quite fitting actually, because the dirt rally, well, the dirt rally expansion, the rally expansion for Forza Horizon has just been released, so yeah, can't wait to have a go at that. And I think I'll rally mod the AMC Javelin, because oh, it handles gorgeously. You can just drift it through the turns, you know. You got to counter a little bit, but it's still pretty nice, you know. It's a rally car with rear-wheel drive. I'm surprised they didn't enter it in rallies. It's very easy to drive on dirt. It makes it look cooler as well when you can slide the car for ages on dirt. It does have quite a bit of power to it, but the torque is really what matters in this car. It's very torquey, low down, and it definitely gets up and goes relatively quickly. So yeah, it's a pretty cool car, you know. I think I've reviewed it before when it was in Forza 4, but you know, it's a good car to add. I like old American muscle cars. This is how American muscle cars should be, in my opinion. I mean, low, you know, lazy, you know, very soft, very nice to cruise along to, you know, keeping people in business as well. I mean, this is before General Motors took over everything, so, you know, congrats to AMC for doing this, you know. Not quite a fan of the Pacer, but still pretty good. Anyway, let's move on to our next car, guys, shall we?